how's it going? I just passed a billboard sign and it says John 1:4 or John 1:14. It said, the Word became flesh. And as I always do, I start meditating on things, and I realized that our words become something. Okay, we know that, like if I say I'm going to do something and I don't do it, then my word was no good. It didn't become anything. So, it's really awesome that we have God's Word. Okay, because can we speak a word that becomes flesh? Well, I would say yeah. I would say we can't speak a word and then it becomes flesh. But if we look at what the flesh is, okay, when conception happens, then you have flesh. You have a new flesh. So, if you say something that you're going to do, okay, if you say you're going to do something and you do it, you follow through with what you say you're going to do, then it became what you said would come to pass. Okay? And so we have God's Word. And He says His Word is even more than His name. That's pretty cool, because a name, we think of, I've heard people say this, like, well, what's in a name? Well, everything's in a name. Okay, if you think about it, if you have a name of a company and you have people working for you and something goes on or something goes wrong with that business or that company or those employees or whatever that goes against the name of that company, that ain't no good for your own business, right? So when we say we're going to do something and we don't keep our word, it's really just going against yourself, that's what it is. You're making your own business look bad. Okay, and I'm sure we all have situations that happen where you can't follow through, or something happens, or something comes up that makes it so you can't follow through or do what you say you're going to do, because, we're just planning our days, and we set the plans, and the Lord guides our steps. Okay, we have to trust that His Word will come to pass. That's what is so awesome, because everything that God says, God wills and God provides. Okay? Everything that He does, everything that He has done has came into being. And the other thing, for when I was thinking about the flesh, it says the Word became flesh. We can also, I'm also seeing that the flesh is like an example or a symbol of reality. Okay? So when we speak a word, it becomes our reality. Just like that's why it's so important to think on good things. Think of peace and joy and happiness and love and kindness and patience and self-control. All those things to God are good, and we're supposed to think on those things, and that will bring us joy. Okay? And so if you want, for myself, for what I want good things in my life. I want the goodness of God. the righteousness of God. And so if I want that, then I need to speak that way. And that's really hard training, because sometimes we get in negative stuff, and then we speak negative stuff, and then it seems like that's the way it is, but it's not really that. It's not really the way it is, because our words are powerful. And if God's word became flesh, then that's pretty serious, That's pretty powerful, that our words can become something. He gave us the power. He gave us His power to do so through Jesus. Jesus came back and took back all that authority. He gave it back to the woman. He gave the authority back to the woman when He told His mother, she told Him to go. She said, go, do whatever, make the wine for this wedding or whatever. And Jesus said, first of all, He said, woman, it's not my time. And so she was directed to do something different. She looked straight at the other people, the disciples, I think it was. I don't have the story right in front of me, but she looks at I think it was the wedding attendants, the people that were there. She looks at them and says, okay, whatever He says, do it. And that was the exchange of authority. That's so awesome, because back in the Garden of Eden, Adam gave up his authority. He gave up his authority to the enemy instead of giving back the authority to the woman. Okay, because Eve got deceived. That's hard to say. Eve deceived. Okay, but anyway. She got deceived, and then they started believing the enemy. Okay? But back here when Jesus was here, and he was given all the authority by the Father. He said, all the authority of heaven and earth has been given to me by my Father. And so when He had the authority, I think it's really awesome that He gave the authority back to the woman. We were created in His likeness, male and female. Okay, and we both, male and female, have the authority that Jesus has given us. That's what happened after the crucifixion. He rose again so that we would have life, and we would have it abundantly, and so that we could live in this world as He is. Okay, as He is. Spirit? Yeah, He is Spirit, and He has authority over the kingdom of darkness. And it's so cool. So we need to speak good words and know that our words become something. If we have all that authority, then, it also says that life and death are in the power of the tongue. Amazing? Yeah. Can we speak life into existence? Maybe not flesh. I mean, I don't know. That'd be pretty amazing if you could speak something into life, like speaking life into flesh, but we actually can, now that I say it out loud, because I know that when someone encourages me, it speaks life into me. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. Have faith. Yeah, don't let anyone tell you that you don't have any faith. Okay, that's something else I wanted to talk about that I found very interesting. I don't know where it's at, right off the top of my head, because I just got all kinds of random going through my head right now. But Jesus was telling them, I believe it was when they were in the boat, and they were scared because of the storm, and Jesus said, oh, you have such little faith. Okay, don't let anyone tell you that you don't have any faith, because they may not know what you got faith for. Okay, we've all got faith for something, whether it's for your job, whether it's for your kids or your family or your relationships or your finances. We're all trying to have faith for something. We're putting our faith into something, right? So just continue having faith, because God has this all worked out. We just have to believe in Him and put His word first, okay? Because if His word became flesh, then I would learn to trust that. And learn to trust that your words become something. If it's negativity, you're going to produce negativity around you. And so that's encouraging, because then we can change our words. We can change our surroundings by what we're speaking. We can speak kindness and speak anyway. I mean, it's hard for me to speak. I'm not a real big speaker, except for when I get, like when I pass something like that. That sign just started, boom, and all this download started happening with the word became flesh. And then I started thinking, well, the flesh is real, you know? So isn't it like saying the word became flesh? It's almost like saying things just got real. And we know they just got real last year, right? We know that we now see the difference between good and evil. Yeah. It's became very clear what we do like and what we don't like. And so it's good. You know, God, what God brings together, let no man separate. And nothing can separate that which God has joined together. So if your reality has become real this year or last year, then just trust God, because the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. So He is dwelling among us in spirit. He is living and dwelling inside of us. And I love that. That's the most amazing thing that I found with last year, with everything that was happening, and how humble it made me to realize that every time I see something happen in the world, I can always go back to God's Word and say, yep, that's what He said. Yep, that's what He said it would do. Yep, that's how He said it would be. And it's so humbling. It's so humbling and peaceful. It brings me peace. It brings me joy wherever I go, because I can always go to His Word, and instead of mine, or if someone else says something that doesn't come to pass, you know, it's okay, because they're not God. So don't beat yourself up. You know, if you're struggling with trying to keep your word and it's not happening, because I'm telling you, it's been a test. Whatever's behind me has become a test about, as far as me keeping my word and other people keeping their word, and everything's going out the hoo-ha, and it's like, trust God, okay? That's what Jesus said. Just trust God. Okay? Everybody's gonna know the Lord, and we're gonna know the Lord, and we're gonna be fine. We're gonna learn to trust Him. We're gonna have faith again. We're gonna find hope again, because His word is the final word. Okay, not ours. I mean, we can keep our word with people. Trust me, that's a good thing to do. If you can, we want to be able to do what we say we're going to do. That builds trust and faith in our relationships. Any relationship. It doesn't have to be with specific one. I mean, why not just be that way across the board? You know, if you're going to do something or say something, try to keep your word the best that you can. And sometimes things happen, but your motive should be to keep your word. You know, it's not going to make God look bad if you don't, because He keeps His word anyway. For the sake of His word, He has sent His only Son to save us. Okay, it's for His name's sake. It says so. It's for His name. Because God's not a liar, and God's word comes to pass. So it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. And I hope you guys have a nice day and be safe. And we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.